At that briefing, she joins us now for more. Nthakoana, good afternoon to you. The official celebrations tomorrow drawing to a close. Take us through some of the main points from that briefing ahead of tomorrow.
Good afternoon, Natasha. Yes, indeed. The main thing that everyone is really waiting for tomorrow is that statement, the January 8 statement that will be made by new ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa and the Secretary General, and that is Magashule, saying that one of the main things that statement will deal with will be the implementation of the land policy resolution, that is expropriation without compensation, but of course taking into consideration the fact that food security should not be affected. But also he said that that statement will stress how the ANC should be unified going forward, and also that the ANC wants to reach out to all of those people that we have seen the leadership, the NEC of the ANC going to in a blitz campaign ahead of the January 8 statement, saying that it is intending to respond to what the people have been saying to the leadership as it has been going around from KwaZulu-Natal to the Eastern Cape on this blitz campaign. But also that this event will start with a parade that will be led by the president, and that parade will come here where we are to the stadium. And of course we have people like the president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, who will be attending, and he says that former presidents of the ANC will be here. But of course former President Thabo Mbeki has apologized, he's out of the country, as well as former President Kgalema Motlanthe is out of the country. They have apologized. But these are just some of the highlights that we can expect to see here at the stadium tomorrow. Natasha?
Absolutely, and the ANC has also said that its birthday celebrations take place in the year in which South Africa and the world will be celebrating 100 years since the birth of Nelson Mandela. Did they elaborate on this at all?
Oh, certainly. As you saw, the president of the ANC going to Kunu yesterday, the NEC of the ANC and the family will visit Nelson Mandela's grave on the 11th of February. But that will be kick-starting the events that will celebrate the 100th birthday of Nelson Mandela. But also remember that this is also the year of Albertina Sisulu, according to the ANC. And therefore, this is also the year that she will be remembered because she would also be turning 100 years. So events that we will see around the country will then carry on from yesterday going forward. But also I think the other thing that we can mention that people have been waiting to find out about is that issue of the two chairpersons of provinces, and that is himself, Magashule, as well as the chairperson of Gauteng, and that is Paul Mashatile, who have to step down according to the constitution of the ANC because they will now occupy permanent positions at national. And of course the other people that will be looked at will be the now deputy president of the ANC, and that is Didi Mabuza. You remember that he's a chairperson of Mpumalanga as well as premier. So these are just some of the developments, but him saying that himself and Paul Mashatile will step down at the end of this financial year, and that is according to the agreement of the NEC. So these are just some of the things that we expect to see happening, and that will grab a lot of media attention. But the other thing that he could not get away from, Natasha, as you would expect, is that issue of the president of the country, and that is Jacob Zuma. News stories saying that he is putting conditions that say that he wants the former AU chairperson, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, to take over as interim president. But the Secretary General, Magashule, saying that is not true, and the media should not be focusing on fake news. Natasha?
Absolutely. It was very interesting to listen to some of those questions being posed to Magashule by the journalist. I mean, he couldn't avoid being asked those sort of questions. But aside from the media briefing, does it look like it's all systems go ahead of tomorrow? And what's the feeling on the ground? Are people going to come out in their numbers for this rally tomorrow?
Oh, the NEC has been going around, the volunteers of the ANC have been going around trying to get people not only from the province but from around the country to attend this event. And if you look behind me, you will see that the stage is almost complete, and this will be the main venue of the celebrations, and that is the Absa Stadium here in East London. But of course, it is small. Therefore, there are other overflow areas that have been arranged where a lot of people that are expected to come here will be addressed there. But also that because there is such limited space, no cars will be allowed around the precinct. There will be shuttles that will come from the International Convention Center, which is a bit of a distance from here, particularly for the media, from 5 to 8 a.m. to make sure that there is no stampede coming to this venue, but that the president, that is Cyril Ramaphosa, will lead a parade that will go from the City Hall to come to this venue. And these are just some of the arrangements. But of course, concern coming from some of the journalists who say, is the ANC not concerned that because of the number of people that may come for the celebrations, isn't this venue too small? And is Magashule saying that in fact it is necessary for the ANC to go around the country regardless of how small the places are, to ensure that it keeps in touch with its member base, but also that it stimulates and reinvigorates the economies. And as you can imagine, the economy of the Eastern Cape will boom because of this January 8th celebrations, because we have seen caterers, florists, entertainers, as well as the people that are putting up these stages, and other logistics will definitely benefit. And of course, we're not leaving behind those who are selling regalia around the venues that the ANC 106 celebrations are happening here in East London. Natasha?
Yeah, absolutely. Nthakoana, thank you so much for that. Certainly the ANC on definite charm offensive in East London, in Eastern Cape there. Nthakoana Ngatane live from East London ahead of those celebrations tomorrow.